Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for coming in such large numbers to the press conference to officially present the new Atalanta coach, namely Mr. Raffaele Palladino. Before your questions to Mr. Raffaele Palladino, I would like to hand over to our CEO Luca Percassi to introduce this press conference. Please, Dr. Percassi.
Good evening, everyone. It is obviously a great pleasure to be here together tonight for the presentation of our new coach, Mr. Palladino. I bring greetings from President Percassi, Vice President Pagliuca, the sporting director who is here with us, Tony D'Amico, and the entire Atalanta club, which is very well represented, and of course, extending a huge welcome to the coach.
Thank you. So, before your questions, I know that the coach, just like our CEO, would like to welcome you and thank the owners and managers here.
Well, first of all, good evening. I don't know if it's on. Yes, okay. Good evening everyone, and thank you for coming here in so many places. Well, I simply wanted to say that I am happy. I am happy. These may seem like trivial and obvious phrases, but that's how I feel. I am happy to be here at this great club, and I feel like saying that I, together with my staff, will do everything we can to give our best for this club. I would like to thank the Percassi and Paiuca families and the director and friend for this great opportunity that I have been given, and of course I am really proud to represent Atalanta at this moment. I am at your disposal for any questions, so anything if you see me writing, because I will write down your names, and so maybe if you introduce yourselves like this we can start getting to know each other.
Okay, we can start by obviously thanking Dr. Percassi and also Mr. Raffaele Palladino for this introduction. We can start with the questions for Mr. Palladino, starting with Marina Presello from Skyport. Thank you. Welcome back, Raffaele. Welcome back. He's been training his new team for a few days now. Now all the internationals are back, but time is running out, in the sense that when you have to chase after something, you have to get down to business right away. Here are the keys you've been pushing during these days. What do you want to see right away? Also, because the first match you have to face with Napoli is already an uphill battle. Well, the keys I've touched on have been few but clear, and I've pushed a lot on Atalanta's DNA, and that is intensity, that of the philosophy of work, concreteness and sacrifice. And I've tried to rediscover what we may have lost a bit at the moment, and, therefore, the DNA of Atalanta, that which has always distinguished this club, these guys. And, of course, there's a lot of work to do, there's little time, but we have to make the most of this little time available. Now all the internationals are back, and obviously I'm really happy to have found a group with great human values and great technical values to work on. Giovanni Barsotti from Good evening, mister. Good luck from me too for the new adventure. They tell me that during this break, after Fiorentina, you studied a bit of English, so if that's the case, if you studied English, you took advantage of it, no, to also improve yourself on a managerial level. If it's something that modern football also requires, to speak to international dressing rooms, and if it's because you were waiting for a call from an international dressing room, from a big team that currently has this status here. Well, obviously for me the fact of being out for a few months, apart from, which was my choice, but, in addition to this, it was an opportunity for growth from many points of view, because then you have the opportunity to learn a new language, to watch other championships, to study new things, different things. The fact of being out was a reason for growth. I was waiting for Atalanta because Atalanta is a top club for me, and so, I've had many opportunities in these months and many calls, and obviously when I got the call from Atalanta it took really little time and we left together. We immediately understood that we were on the same wavelength and we have the same goals, those of bringing Atalanta back to being competitive, to fighting, as the manager said yesterday on all pitches. Andrea Riscassi, Rai Sport.
Hello, mister. Welcome to Bergamo. In these 9 years, let's say the stadium has become accustomed to a type of play with Gasparini. In these months, he has been a bit lacking, in the sense that there was less pressure, less offensive play, more ball back, and you said to bring the spirit of the goddess. What goddess should we expect, given that you, like Ivan, are an heir to Mr. Gasparini? Thank you. Well, I believe that every coach has his own ideas, and in fact I would like to greet Ivan Juric because I have a very good relationship with him. They shared the locker room as players and then he was my coach, so I have a great relationship with him and I thank him because I found the team in good physical condition, so. A good job was done, and obviously we can start from there. As for the playing concepts, every coach has his own ideas, so I will try to put in things that I think are right for the team. However, the dogma of this club, the dogma of these guys is to try to control the games, have intensity, go fast. We have to fight on all the pitches, we have to compete with everyone, and I want to see a courageous team. I want to see a team that brings intensity to the games, all things that, obviously, we have to put in and we have to work on. However, what makes me feel at ease is the fact that there is a group that has a great desire to work, great dedication, great participation, and there must also be a desire for revenge within the group, because, obviously, Atalanta does not deserve this position in the standings, but it must be demonstrated on the pitch.
Piero Bilotti, here from Bergamo.
Thank you. Good evening, mister. Welcome. Good evening. Aside from the tactical aspect, you will have a difficult start too. Your experience at Atalanta, Napoli, the team from your city, the debut in the Champions League, Fiorentina. And there is no need to add anything else. And the Coppa Italia, which is an appointment, an event, a goal that the club cares a lot about. I wanted to ask if you have taken a look at these first 10 days that await you and how you are experiencing them, how you expect them on an emotional level. Thank you.
Well, obviously I have tried to look at everything, right? All the aspects that need to be worked on. In the first week I tried to get to know the guys, get to know the club, and, as I was saying before, we don't have much time and we need to get the most out of it. This week, the internationals have also returned, one by one, so we've integrated the whole group. They'll all be available tomorrow. As for the matches, I'm interested in the first one, the one against Napoli. Then we know that we have 3 competitions, and we're obviously interested in the Champions League and the Coppa Italia, and we have to fight in all of them. We have a strong squad, a competitive squad, a large squad too, and so I'm convinced that everyone can play in this team, but it depends on the guys, it depends on who I show myself to be every day in training that they deserve to play. As far as I'm concerned, there are no reserve starters. The guys need to know that every day is a test for them. Matteo Brega, Gazzetta dello Sport. Good evening, mister. I wanted to ask you how you found Scamacca and if, in his journey back to normality, there will be something similar to the journey Ken had in Florence. Thank you. Well, obviously I found Gianluca to be doing well. He returned from the national team with great desire and, like everyone else, he is a player that I really like. I believe in him a lot, as I do in all the forwards. Stovic. Let's say he plays in the same position and they can be antagonists, but Gianluca has great potential. He has specific characteristics that, in certain games, he can do well like Stovic, so I believe in him a lot. He just needs to understand that. In training you have to go hard, but like everyone else, I'm sure that his great qualities will come out and we hope that, obviously, beyond the goals, I'm interested in the performances, and then the goals are a consequence. Marina Bellotti, Corriere di Bergamo. Good evening, Mr. Atalanta are currently in the right part of the standings, which is a bit unusual in recent years. You have a goal for your Atalanta between now and the end of the season as far as Serie A is concerned. You talked about Europe. Do you think it's still feasible? Thanks. Well, obviously this club has deservedly always been used to being in Europe over the years, or rather, riding the wave of Europe, and something extraordinary has been achieved. In recent years, our goal is to bring Atalanta back to that level because the squad is strong and the club has made some great signings. I believe so much in this squad. I believe in the players that are there. I believe that this team can and must do more than what has been done in this period, and so I believe in it so much, and that is our goal. Now, however, heads down and pedal, and this must be our mentality. Patrick Iannarelli, Corriere dello Sport. Good evening, Mr. Welcome to Bergamo. I wanted to ask you, you had a positive impact at Monza and then in Florence, in any case, a 6th place in the Conference League. I wanted to ask you how much you take away from your experience in Serie A, especially in an important place like Florence. Thank you. Well, I bring with me a wealth of technical experience, and because, in any case, the 2 years at Monza and the year in Florence were very formative for me. It was important, we achieved the results we wanted, but now the past is the past and, for me Atalanta is a source of pride. For me it is a source of great satisfaction, but like me, the team too, we have to demonstrate that wearing this shirt must mean sacrifice, dedication to work, passion. We have to inspire our fans to have great enthusiasm, and because this club, this place deserves this. So I would like, and in short, that the team spirit reflects the spirit of the people of Bergamo, that of sacrifice, that of passion, of going strong, of fighting in every game. Fabio Gennari, Tutto Sport. Hi Mr. Welcome. An interesting fact, I saw the video of the first training session. You were always behind the players, almost hugging them. You called them, you told everyone, we'll get there with work. I wonder how you found them in these first few days. You had 7 to 8 very important players in Zingonia who didn't go with the national team. I saw you with Marin always close, with all the others, with Daniel. Very physical. I wanted to understand what feedback you had from them. Well, I try to be very empathetic with the players. For me, empathy is essential. Less talk and you get to the point. As I was saying before, last week was also a bit unusual, because, having so many internationals. This is a great credit to the club, because they signed strong players, so 14 internationals. We worked with just 9 players, and yet it helped me a lot to start getting to know each other, to build relationships, and, for me, enthusiasm, empathy are essential. And that's how we worked in the first week. This week we started to introduce concepts, principles, and I want to see the team working on them from Saturday. But I saw great participation. I really liked that, and I like to push the team, I like to push the guys, and I see that they respond well, so I'm very satisfied with that. Pietro Serena, Corriere della Sera. Good morning, mister. I would like to ask you what your friend Galliani told you about Percasse, given the relationship they have, but I prefer to talk about football. And I ask you, given your first Monza, one thinks of this Atalanta squad and says it's the perfect team to play like that. Then you think of Fiorentina and we've seen different things, the four-man defense, the team that's deeper. What should we expect? A pragmatist, a champion who has Monza in mind and Atalanta who can do it. What's your starting idea? Well, I think you've said it all, and I'm not a fundamentalist, but I'm open to understanding the characteristics of the players, and therefore I try to get the most out of each player, putting them in a position to be able to express themselves at their best. And I try to find the right outfit for the team, obviously always putting the team first, and consequently, I believe that this team was formed to play a 342, which is what I believe in so much, it's what I like the most. And, if necessary, it can also be done with an attacking midfielder and two forwards, so 34. But this team has always done it even in past years, so, they know the playing system well, they have the right characteristics, a strong team has been formed, so, I'm satisfied. There's only work to be done, to work, to pedal, and obviously to get results. Franco Vanni, Repubblica. Good evening, mister. And the last, let's say, the greatest joy for Atalanta in the Dublin final bears the triple signature of Mola Luckman. I wanted to ask you if he is a player you like, that you want to focus on strongly, that you think could adapt well to your football, and when you will have him available after he returns from the national team. I absolutely believe in Luckman because I believe he is a strong footballer and that he can make a difference. Well, I called him when he was in the national team, I called all the players who were in the national team, because I wanted to talk to each of them, and Luckman. He presented himself well, after returning from the national team, so, obviously, I will evaluate his use based on the training he does, based on what the pitch tells me, obviously. Gianluca Viscogliosi, Sport Italia. Hello mister, welcome to Bergamo. You were talking about calls, right? When you approach a new adventure, I imagine you always receive a lot of them. Given that, when you first faced Atalanta in Monza, you talked about Gasparini, about how much of a teacher he was, but you also said, I don't copy and paste. I ask you if you also received that call from the person who trained Atalanta, also on the pitch, so from Mr. Gasparini. Thank you very much. Oh no, my phone is bursting with calls. In fact, I still have some backlogged messages, but no, I haven't had the opportunity to hear from the coach. Even though we often talk to him, we still have a good relationship, as you know. And you know very well that he was a teacher to me, so I always thank him for what he gave me. But now we have to look forward. The past is past, we have to look forward because there is a lot of work to do, and he has truly been unique in what he has done together with the club. They have done something indelible, but now we have to look forward because we have a championship, 3 competitions to face, we have to do a great job.
Thank you Matteo De Sanctis, Bergamo TV. Yes, good evening mister, welcome to Atalanta and Bergamo. Well, I'll delve deeper into the topic of individuals, given the many questions, and we've already talked about some players. Thinking about Palladino also makes you think of the best season of his career, probably for Daniel Maldini. There will also be a relaunch of this player. Thank you.
But I'm counting on everyone, and I have 22 outfield players plus 3 goalkeepers at my disposal, and I'm counting on everyone. I can't afford to lose any player. I believe so much in Daniel because I know him, Just as I believe in his role in Sulemana and Luckman, and Daniel knows what I want. He knows that he has to be strong in training, and when he gets the chance he has to take advantage of it. It depends on them, it depends on the guys. No, I don't look at anyone. For me, those who deserve to play, and then it's the games that give me the answers. Filippo Di Santo, Al Mercato Web. Good evening, mister. Welcome to Bergamo. I wanted to ask you how important it is for Atalanta to be united towards you, not only by the club but also by the environment, considering that the Atalanta fans are not only passionate but also united in difficult moments. Thank you. Well, if you ask me, what surprised me the most was this: the closeness of the club, their daily presence, and the fact that, in any case, they are always there, they are always there. And Luca by our side, the director, friend, president, and it is something unique that surprised me a lot and also creates a family bond within this great club. And we must carry forward this thing that is very important, and therefore, and I'm really happy and I thank the club for this, because together we are all stronger, and therefore this is a very important starting point. Giacomo Brunetti, Locker Room Report. Hello, mister, welcome. You rightly said that you are not a fundamentalist and that you have studied, in these months in which you have been inactive. I would like to ask you which teams have impressed you the most, what you have studied, if you have learned anything from anyone, and if there are any coaches who have particularly impressed you. Thank you. No, I have been to England a lot. I have been there to speak the language a bit. I have been to see Arsenal. I have been to see Chelsea, and I have watched some clubs, some games, and they have also given me a different view of English football, which, in my opinion, is football. Very interesting, and, of course, coaches like, that there are in England are very well prepared, but in Italy there are just as strong coaches. So, for me, Arteta is one of the best at the moment. Despite Guardiola, there are many strong coaches in England, but Arteta is the one who has impressed me the most at the moment. Simone Fornoni, ANSA. Good evening, welcome to Bergamo. In all these months, Ulrich and I have asked ourselves why Atalanta's offensive potential has decreased, or rather the results. The goals haven't come as much as in previous years. An answer has been given to why, given the offensive potential and above all the number of quality forwards in the squad. Thank you. Well, obviously I'm not judging the work done in the past because I don't know things, but I base my opinion on what I have in the team, the characteristics I have. There is incredible offensive potential. There are goals from the forwards, but there are also goals in other areas of the pitch. I want the full-backs to finish off the play more. We need to look for goals in other areas of the pitch too. Well, I want goals from the forwards. I want the area to be filled more, and that's what I ask of the team, and then I'm the one who has to put the team in a position to score more goals, and that's up to me, of course. Alessandro Pagliarini, Bergamo First. Hey there, mister. You defined football as a puzzle. What's the first piece you want to put in place, starting with the match against Napoli? Play as a team, defend, and attack as a team. That's the first thing I want to see. We all defend together, we all attack together. And that's what this team has always done, by the way. But I'm interested in seeing a solid team, a team that goes to Naples to play a brazen game, a team that is aware of its own abilities because it has great technical and physical qualities. We know that we're facing the Italian champions, but our mentality must be to fight on every pitch and compete with everyone. Giorgio Ducey, Bergamo News.
Good evening, mister. I don't know how much time you've had this week to get to know the city, to talk to the fans, you guessed it.
I've been to the sports center, but I'll have the chance to see the city, obviously. I don't know, finish the question. Sorry if I interrupted you, okay? And then I also wanted to mention Federico Peluso, who is part of his staff and knows him very well. He actually gave him some advice. What did you say to each other when you got the call from Atalanta? You spoke on the phone. Thank you. Well, obviously he was happy, very happy, maybe more than me, because he obviously knows the Atalanta world and he was enthusiastic. And Federico is a former Atalanta player and so he has also given a lot to this club and he also explained to me a bit how to work at this club and he was right. Having said that, as far as getting to know the city is concerned, obviously when I arrive at clubs like Monza and Florence, I like to get to know the DNA, I like to get to know the heart of the city and I often go around the city because I also want to understand the mentality, I want to understand, get to know the people, what they perceive, and it is essential because that is then transmitted to the team and I want the team to also reflect the DNA of the people from Bergamo. Fabrizio Carcano, today. Good evening, Mr. Welcome. In your previous experiences, you have already developed important young players at Monza, Camazzola, Fiorentina. Here you will find some players who are already on the launch pad. Hanner is 17 years old, Bernasconi for the entire youth sector. Well, Scalvini himself is only 21 years old. I wanted to know how these players will approach and how they will continue their journey and development. But here there are players with great potential and very strong players, young people with great potential. We can really do a great job. What I do is simply help them grow individually, try to improve them individually, because I value individuals, I value these young people, but not only the young people, because you never stop learning and you never stop growing. Even older players can grow and you have to improve all aspects. Well, I am very demanding in training, I ask a lot, we work hard and we struggle and we work on everything, physical, mental and technical aspects and then it's up to them, to their growth and the important thing is that they pass on the right concepts, clear and individual improvement allows you to improve the whole team. So, with the coach's permission, since we can't satisfy everyone because there are so many of you and we really thank you for your presence, I'll allow 2 more questions this time by show of hands, maybe one from one side, one from the other. There, go ahead, go ahead. Good evening and welcome coach.
Thank you.
Giacomo Mir from Lavoriamo Sport. I would like to go back for a moment to the concept of intensity that you have reiterated several times and according to the FIFA Research Center the Italian Championship is in 10th place for this, let's say, footballing virtue. How can you find it again considering that you will have your first full week of training practically before Christmas because now there are a series of matches and therefore the training sessions will obviously be different. But I was lucky enough to do it last year. Yes, I agree with what you say. I was lucky enough to compete in a European competition last year, so I already have experience of where to look for that intensity that you are referring to, because competing in 3 competitions does allow you to work less physically, but there are certain days, set days when you can go and look for that kind of intensity, especially after the matches, especially with strength training, especially on the 3rd day before the match when you play on Sunday and or Saturday and Wednesday, you can work. So, we have experience that you can work and for me, the more players work, the better they feel on the pitch and this is our goal, to try to put them in a position to also perform well physically, then in terms of quality they must try to perform at their best. Lastly, Giorgio Lazzari, Nerazzurri player.
Good evening and welcome to Bergamo and of course, good work.
Good evening. We have noticed a lot of determination and compactness in managing the players. I imagine that in addition to watching the matches abroad, he has also followed Atalanta's matches in the first part of the season, waiting for this call because he is a bit predestined to come to Bergamo, so you can see this desire to make an impact. Since he described the team's physical shape as very good, the work is also on the mental and psychological aspects, because in fact the squad is the same and therefore we need to try to motivate them. And I wanted to ask if there were also any requests, in view of the transfer market, since, unfortunately, it is discussed every day of the year. Since every coach has some of his own desired requests, in my opinion, the answer desired under the Christmas tree, I have to answer in a very diplomatic way. It's early, then we'll think about it and think about it. It's early to do this. In fact, I need to get to know the guys as much as possible now, that's my goal. I have to focus on them 100% because for me, if they are at Atalanta it is because they are strong players and so that is our goal now. Then we will think about everything else later, there is time. As for mentality and enthusiasm, absolutely yes. This team, obviously, when there is a change of coach morale can drop, but it is physiological and it is disappointing for everyone and, of course, the first ones to be disappointed were the players together with the club, but we have to react immediately. There is no time to waste because there is an important match on Saturday, we have to react. I have tried to touch the right buttons and then, as you know better than me, it is the match that gives you the answers. To date I can tell you that I am satisfied with the work that I have seen in these days, in these 2 weeks, but what will give me the answers is Saturday night and so I can't wait to get on the pitch. Dr. Percassi, I don't know if this is enough, I want to add something to you to conclude. No, simply thank you to all of you, as always for the attention and affection you have towards Atalanta. What I can guarantee, seeing the coach work every day, is the great attention he is paying. The first one who arrives at Zingoni arrives and the last one who leaves. This demonstrates the great responsibility he has taken on from the first day he entered the gates of Zingonia. For us this is truly the most important thing. We are all with him because we know very well how difficult his role is, but I'm convinced that all the people of Bergamo, all the people who love Atalanta, are ready to support this team in need, at a time of difficulty. We must show how much we love this club, this team, this coach, and we will move forward. We will work, as Coach Talk rightly said.